signed up for the gym. I followed the keto diet. I tried the GM diet. I ran a marathon. I cut back on sugar and starch. I even counted each and every calorie that I ate, but nothing seems to work. I lose weight, but few weeks later, I regain more than what I lose. Does this sound familiar to you? Then I have a permanent, sustainable solution. Before we start, this video demands a fundamental shift in thinking. If you want to get healthy without dieting and exercising, take your time to think over what I say and listen with a very open mind. This plan is based on input from multiple dietitians. This worked for me and I tried it with few of my friends and it worked for them as well. I assume that you're not having a medical condition and that is leading you to weight gain. Consult your doctor before implementing my philosophy. We all know that weight loss programs fail in the long term. The problem with the traditional weight loss solutions is that they treat weight gain to be a disease like our common cold and try to cure it through weight loss programs. Overweight is actually a sign. It is a way of our body telling us that we are eating more than we should for the lifestyle we live, or it's a medical condition. Assuming you don't have a medical condition, what are you doing wrong on a daily basis to gain weight? Think about that for a second. In order to better understand what you need to do, let me give an analogy. Let's say you are planting a sapling. For this sapling to become a healthy tree, a few factors are very important. First, doing the basics right. This could mean providing the right amount of water, mineral-rich soil, sufficient air, and appropriate sunlight. Less or more of any of this could mean a less than ideal tree with reduced lifespan. Pour more water or too much exposure to sun, the sapling might die. Provide less minerals, the plant could take longer to grow. Second, patience. It takes a lot of time for a plant to grow into a tree. It may take months, if not even years. More importantly, only if you do everything right as mentioned before, your plant will grow healthy. Similarly, first, you need to cover your basics. Then have some patience. Losing weight is a gradual process. By controlling what you eat, you control your weight. If you choose your food right, you could eat your tummy full and still lose weight. Below is the step-by-step process to stabilize your weight permanently. Number 1. Having sufficient water. Have at least 3 liters of water a day. If you are consistently dehydrated, your body stores more water, thereby increasing your weight. The National Academy of Medicine suggests 3.7 liters of water for men and 2.7 liters of water for women. An easy way to do this is by having 1 liter before you go to office, then a liter of water in office, and finally when you reach home and before you go to bed, complete the last liter of water. Remember, all this is only guidance, so apply your instincts along with these guidance. There are a ton of water drinking reminder apps. Use them to get started, but get rid of them once you get used to drinking sufficient water. Get sufficient sunlight on a daily basis. Get at least 20 minutes of sunlight every day. Studies show that the risk of vitamin deficiency is more than getting skin cancer. At least wait for 15 minutes after you have been on the sun before you take shower. Food intake is the most important thing. It is the food you eat that determines your health. We all mostly eat food that are high in carbohydrates. Move towards a diet that is less carbs and more fiber. While this may sound cliche, there is an easier way to achieving this. Build a permanent food plan based on the following guidelines and revisit them once in 3 months. Perform a Google search for healthy food options in your home cuisine and write down the name of the dishes. Then, research and check if the list you prepared from the search are actually healthy by looking at the composition. A healthy food would be high on fiber and low on carbs, even though not necessarily the case always. It's important to write down all the healthy food options that you enjoy eating. At the end of this step, you would have at least 10 healthy food options that you would love to eat. List down all the food you ever like to eat into 3 categories, namely healthy, neutral and non-healthy. You will have to make 3 such lists for breakfast, lunch and dinner. While healthy and non-healthy might be very clear, a neutral food might be high on carb and low on fiber, but it definitely will not be a calorie bomb. Such foods become healthy if supplemented with other high fiber starters. Write down everything you wish to have, from the nicest dishes you ever had to the toughest food to eat yet healthy. If you run out of options, look up the menu of your favorite restaurants. So, step 1 gave you a list of all the healthy dishes that you might love from the internet. Step 2 gave you all the list of dishes that you love to eat and categorize them into healthy, neutral and unhealthy. Now, in step 3, take the healthy items from step 1 and 2 and form a 12-week plan for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I'm sure you won't be able to fill a full week with just healthy foods. That is not even recommended. So once you have filled out the healthy options, then take out the neutral options from the list and fill the plan. The neutral food can at most be consumed 2 times a week. Finally, the unhealthy food. This could be had only once a month. So if you have filled at least 1 or 2 weeks with this, then you could repeat this plan for the rest of the weeks. While making this plan, think about the practical viability of actually cooking these dishes. If someone has to cook for you, talk to them before making this plan. Even better, sit with them in preparing this plan. Now you have a wonderful plan for the next 3 months that you could just start implementing, right? No. You need to follow a very crucial augmentation step before you can complete this plan, which is adding healthy vegetables to most of these food items. A common thumb rule is your carbs intake needs to be half of fiber intake. That means you will reduce rice, wheat or maize intake by 50% and increase vegetables and fruits intake by 200%. So if your food has 3 parts, 2 parts will be vegetables and 1 part will be whatever you planned from your 12-week plan. Get very creative in this step. Reimagine the food you eat to come up with new dishes here. There are no rules. Now add these toppings to the 12-week plan so that your 12-week plan has double the amount of vegetables that you will normally have, and that way you will reduce the carbs intake by at least 50%. This step is as important as the previous steps. After 1 month, introspect what worked and what didn't. Accordingly, change your plan to be more realistic. The key here is to be realistic so that it works in the long term than cut corners. So after 1 month, measure your hip, waist and neck size and your weight to figure out the body fat percentage and compare with the previous month. A body fat percentage is a better measure of progress than just looking up your BMI. This 5-step process is meant to get you started choosing the right food. Gradually, get rid of these steps and make them just automatic. I'm working on a follow-up video on providing specific details for different cuisines. And finally, you can stop exercising unless you're doing it as prescribed by your doctor. Your exercises are not going to work unless it already worked for you. Instead, consider starting a physically demanding hobby. It could be playing tennis, badminton, hockey, soccer, maybe football, or a squash, or maybe you could join an NGO that performs weekly coastal cleanup, some volunteering maybe. This way it's very sustainable and this keeps you flexible. But remember, you will not lose weight doing this, but without this you will become very rigid. If you do not do this, your body muscles will become weak and you will start to look older than you are. By choosing the right kind of food, you're providing your body the opportunity to build its best and forget about counting calories. By limiting the carbohydrates, you're making sure you're fitting into the right fat percentage. By choosing a physically demanding hobby, you're flexing your muscles to keep yourself nimble. That, my friends, is how you lose weight without dieting and exercising. Thanks for watching Reimagine That. Subscribe and share the tips that you followed to lose weight without dieting.